Day 2, after losing your job after 50, is when you move from survival mode to strategy mode. This is when you build your action plan for the next 30 days. Hi, I'm Elle, a retired attorney and art gallery owner, and if you haven't watched yesterday's video on what to do the day you lose your job after 50, day 1, go back and watch that first. This picks up where that one left off. Okay, you made it through day 1, you didn't panic, you protected your assets, and you got some rest. Now what? Let's build your plan. The 30-day framework starts here. Here's what most people get wrong about job loss after 50. They either freeze and do nothing, or they panic and do everything at once. Both are mistakes. What you need is a structured 30-day plan that gives you quick wins, protects your options, and positions you for whatever comes next, whether that's another job, retirement, or something completely different. I'm going to give you that plan today. It's organized into 4 tracks that run parallel. Financial stabilization, so you can breathe, professional positioning, so you have options, and strategic decision making, so you choose wisely, and emotional resilience, so you don't fall apart. You'll work on all 4 simultaneously, but in manageable pieces. Let's break it down week by week. And if you want to assess where you actually are right now across all 3 dimensions of retirement that matter, grab my free retirement readiness scorecard. Complete it in 10 minutes or less, and it'll give you a baseline before you start this 30-day plan. The link is in the description. All right, let's get started. This is week 1, days 2 through 7, and the goal is to stabilize. On your financial track, you want to file for unemployment benefits. Yes, even if you got severance, even if you don't think you need it, even if it feels embarrassing. Here's why. In most states, there's a 1-week waiting period. The clock doesn't start until you file. File today, even if you're not sure you'll use it. Go to your state's unemployment website. It'll take 30 to 45 minutes. Have your last pay stub and employer information ready. Action 2, call your health insurance company. Ask these specific questions. What is my exact last day of coverage? What is my COBRA premium, and when is the first payment due? Are there any subsidies available given my income range? What are my alternatives through the healthcare marketplace? Write down the answers. Compare the numbers. You need to know what you're facing. Action number 3, update your budget spreadsheet from yesterday. Add a new column, the severance scenario. If you're getting severance, map out when your payments arrive, how long they extend your runway, what happens when they end. If you're not getting severance, map out this, your unemployment benefit amount, how long it lasts, what your monthly gap is. Days 3 and 4, here's what you do. Schedule a meeting with your financial advisor if you have one. Tell them exactly what happened. Ask, should I delay taking Social Security? Do I need to adjust my 401k investments given this timeline? What's my break-even point for retiring now versus finding another job? Are there any tax implications I need to plan for? If you don't have a financial advisor, this might be the time to get a one-time consult with a fee-only certified financial planner, not to manage your money, just to pressure test your thinking. Next, contact your creditors proactively. If you have any concerns about making payments, your mortgage, a car loan, credit cards, call them now. Don't wait until you miss a payment. Say, I was recently laid off. I'm assessing my options. What hardship programs do you offer? Most have forbearance or payment deferral options you won't know about unless you ask. Days 5 through 7. Calculate your number. This is the big question. How much do you actually need to retire versus how much you need just to survive the job search? Open a spreadsheet, list 3 scenarios. Scenario A, your bare bones minimum monthly payment expenses with no extras. Scenario B, comfortable, your normal lifestyle. Scenario C, ideal, everything you want. For each scenario, calculate these items: your monthly need, your annual need, how long your current assets cover it, what income sources you have, Social Security, pension, rental income, etc. This is the number that will drive every decision you make next. Moving on to the professional track, week 1. Update your LinkedIn profile, not just your headline, the whole thing. Get a professional headshot, not a selfie from 2015. Write a headline that says what you do, not what you were. Write a summary that highlights your expertise, not your job history. Write a skills section that is updated to today. Make sure your recommendations are visible. If your headline still says your old job title, change it today to strategic, whatever your expertise is, leader, or whatever your professional skill is, and then open to new opportunities, or consultant in whatever your specialty is. You're already repositioning yourself with this new language. Next, create your I'm available list. Open a new document. Make 3 columns. Column number 1, list all the people who might hire you or refer you. Column number 2, list people who can introduce you to decision makers. Column number 3, list people who can provide intel on companies or industries. Don't contact anyone yet, just make the list. You need to know who's in your network before you can start activating it. Days 3 to 7 of week 1, audit your skills honestly. What are you genuinely excellent at? Not what your job description said. What do you actually deliver? Write down your technical skills like software and systems and methodologies, soft skills like leadership, communication, problem solving, industry knowledge, regulations, relationships, expertise, and transferable skills like project management, budgeting, strategy. Now circle the ones you actually want to use in your next chapter. This is important. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you have to keep doing it forever. Next, research the market. Spend 2 to 3 hours this week on job sites, not applying, not yet, just researching. Look for what jobs are available in your field. What are they paying? What skills are they asking for? Are you qualified or would you need retraining? Do any of these actually appeal to you? This is market intelligence. You're gathering data, not making decisions yet. Now let's talk about the decision-making track. In week 1, the 3-path assessment. By the end of this week, you need to identify which of 3 paths you're considering most. Path A, full retirement. Stop working entirely. Live on your savings and Social Security and pensions and investments. Path B, traditional reemployment. Find another full-time job similar to what you had. Or Path C, redesigned work, part-time, consulting, contract work, phased retirement. You don't have to choose yet, but you need to know which paths you're seriously considering and which you're not. For each path, answer these questions. Is this financially viable? Does this appeal to me emotionally? Is this realistic given the market and my skills and my age? Write it all down and be honest. Next, talk to 3 people who've walked these different paths. Find someone who retired early after job loss. Find someone who found another traditional job after 55. Find someone who reinvented their career into something different entirely. Have coffee, ask questions, learn from their experience. You're not committing to their path, you're gathering intelligence. Now let's move to the emotional resilience track for week 1. Move your body for 30 minutes every day. This is non-negotiable. Walk, swim, yoga, go to the gym. It doesn't matter, but you need to move. Job loss is traumatic. Exercise is the most effective intervention for anxiety and depression that exists. Treat it like medicine. Next, connect with one person daily who isn't about your job search. A friend, your partner, your sister, your neighbor. Have a conversation about literally anything other than your employment situation. You need to remember you're a whole person, not just a job seeker. Next, journal for 10 minutes before bed. 3 questions every night. Number 1, what did I accomplish today? 2, what am I worried about? 3, What's one thing I'm grateful for? This isn't woo-woo. This is keeping your brain from spiraling at 3 a.m. By the end of week 1, you should have completed all 15 actions. If you haven't downloaded the Retirement Readiness Scorecard yet, do that now. It'll help you think through where you are across prosperity, purpose, and play, which directly informs the decisions that you'll be making in week 3. Let's move on to week 2. Week 2 is about activating your plans. Let's talk about your financial track first. Negotiate your severance if you haven't signed yet. I have a whole video on that. Find the link to that one in the description. Remember, you have 21 days minimum if you're over 40. Email your contact in HR or your former manager and say, I've reviewed the severance agreement and would like to discuss a few terms before signing. When can we schedule a brief call? Ask for additional weeks of severance. Ask for extended health insurance coverage. Ask for outplacement services and a prorated bonus and even a letter of recommendation. The worst they can say is no, but they often say yes to something. Next, get your severance reviewed by an employment attorney. I said this on day 1. I'm saying it again because most people skip this step and regret it later. $300 to $500 for a one-time, 1-hour review, worth every penny. Next, set up your separate job search checking account. If you're getting severance payments over time, have them deposited into a separate account. This does 2 things. It makes it easier to track how much runway you have, and it creates psychological separation between old job money and new regular life. Let's move on to your professional track for week 2. Start your soft launch conversations. Pick 5 to 7 people from your I'm available list. Send them a message. Hi, so-and-so. I wanted to let you know my position at my company was eliminated as part of a restructuring. I'm exploring what's next and would love to catch up if you have 20 minutes in the next week or 2. I'd value your perspective. Notice the language. Position was eliminated, not I was fired. Exploring what's next, not desperately job hunting. Value your perspective, not do you have any jobs? You're opening doors, not begging. Next, refresh your resume. Even if you don't plan to apply anywhere yet, get your resume current. Focus on accomplishments, not responsibilities. Quantifiable results. For example, I increased revenue by 15% in 2 years. I managed a team of 12 and reduced costs by 4%. Recent and relevant experience first. If your resume is more than 2 pages or hasn't been updated since 2019, hire a professional resume writer. This expense is totally worth it if you're going to choose Path B, the traditional reemployment route. Next, join or reactivate in 2 professional groups. For example, LinkedIn groups, industry associations, alumni networks, whatever's relevant to your field. Don't just lurk. Comment on posts, share insights, make yourself visible. People hire people they know or people they notice. Next, let's move on to the decision-making track. For week 2, run the retirement calculator. There are multiple tools. There's the Social Security Estimator at ssa.gov, Fidelity Retirement Calculator, and Personal Capital Retirement Planner. Input your real numbers, your current savings, your expected Social Security at different claiming ages, any pensions, estimated expenses. Play with the variables. What if you work 2 more years? What if you claim Social Security at 62 versus 67? What if you cut expenses by 20%? You need to see the actual numbers, not guess. Next, schedule time with your partner or spouse for the big conversation. Block out 2 to 3 hours, no interruptions. Discuss, what does each of you actually want? What are your fears? What's negotiable and what's not? How do you make this decision together? If you're flying solo, schedule this time with a trusted friend or advisor who can help you think out loud. Moving on to your emotional resilience track for week 2. Join a support group or find a community. This could be AARP's online community for job seekers over 50, a local networking group for professionals in transition, a structured job search, support group, even a Reddit community online for people navigating this. You need people who understand what you're going through. Next, do one thing this week that has nothing to do with your job situation. Go to a museum, take a cooking class, visit a friend in another city, read fiction. You're rebuilding your identity. That requires remembering who you are beyond your work. Let's move on to week 3. This is decision time. Talking about your financial track first. Make your COBRA decision. The deadline is approaching. You need to decide whether to take COBRA and pay the premium, shop the marketplace for a private plan, get on a spouse's plan, or go uninsured, but only if you have very specific and good reasons. Generally not recommended. Run the numbers, make the call. Don't let this deadline pass. Next, review your tax situation. Job loss has tax implications. Severance is taxable income. Unemployment is taxable income. You might need to adjust withholding. You might have deductions available. Job search expenses, home office if you're doing consulting. Talk to your accountant or use tax software to project your year-end situation. Moving on to the professional track for week 3. If you're pursuing Path B, traditional reemployment, start applying strategically, not shotgunning your resume to 50 companies. Identify 5 companies you'd actually want to work for. Send a customized resume and cover letter for each company. Apply through a connection when possible, not just the portal. Quality over quantity is always the key. Next, if you're pursuing Path C, the redesigned work path, test your consulting freelance concept. Create a simple one-page description of what you offer. Identify 3 to 5 potential clients. Have exploratory conversations with them. Price your services. Consider a soft launch with one small project. Don't wait until you've built the perfect website. Test the concept with real people. Next, if you're pursuing Path A, full retirement, activate your social connections differently. You're not networking for jobs. You're building your retirement social infrastructure. Reconnect with old friends. Join clubs or groups aligned with your interests. Volunteer somewhere that matters to you. Take a class. Retirement without social connection leads to isolation. Start building now. Now let's talk about the decision-making track for week 3. Make your preliminary decision. By day 21, you should know, I'm leaning toward path whichever A, B, or C, because, and list your specific reasons why. You might change your mind later, that's fine, but you need a working hypothesis to guide your next moves. Write it down. I'm pursuing path whatever for the next 90 days. If this happens, I'll reconsider. My criteria for success are, and list those. This clarity will change everything. Moving on to the emotional resilience track for week 3. Check in with yourself honestly. How are you doing? Really? If you're experiencing persistent insomnia, a loss of appetite or overeating, an inability to focus, or feelings of worthlessness, thoughts of self-harm, hopefully not, but that happens sometimes. Talk to a professional. These are not a sign of weakness. These are symptoms of the major upheaval in your life. To counteract them, get the help you need when you need it. Your employment assistant program from your old job often covers 3 to 6 sessions even after termination. Use it. Ignoring this step is very likely to derail all the other steps you're taking. It's that important. All right, let's move on to week 4, the execution phase. First, your financial track. Finalize your 90-day budget. You've had 3 weeks of data. You know what you're actually spending. Create your budget for the next 90 days based on your chosen path, your actual expenses, not theoretical, your runway, your risk tolerance. These become your financial guardrails. Next, set up your accountability system. Weekly check-ins with yourself. How much did I spend? How much came in? Am I on track? Do I need to adjust? Set up monthly reviews. Revisit your 3 scenarios. Update your runway calculation. Adjust your budget if needed. Now moving on to the professional track for week 4. Whatever path you chose, execute your first major action. Path A, retirement, file for security if you're ready, or schedule your claiming strategy consultation with the Social Security Administration. Path B, reemployment, have at least 3 networking conversations and submit 5 quality applications. Path C, the redesigned work option, secure your first client or launch your first offering. This is where strategy becomes action. Next, create your 60-day plan. What are the next 5 major milestones you need to hit? Write them down. Put dates on them. Work backward to identify weekly actions. Now moving on to the decision-making track for week 4. Assess what you've learned. After 30 days, you know things you didn't know on day 1, how you actually feel about not working, whether opportunities are emerging, if your finances are scarier or more manageable than you first thought, what you miss about work and what you don't. Write down your insights. These will guide your next 60 days. Moving on to the emotional resilience track for week 4. Celebrate what you've accomplished. You've done 37 actions in 30 days while dealing with job loss trauma. That's extraordinary. Take yourself out to dinner. Buy yourself flowers. Do something that marks this milestone. You didn't just survive. You built a plan and executed it. 30 days ago, you lost your job. You were scared, maybe shocked, definitely uncertain. Today, you have financial clarity, professional options, a strategic direction, emotional tools, and a plan for the next 60 days. This is not the same person who sat in that parking lot or stared out your kitchen window on day 1. You've done the work. Now here's what happens next. You may choose to find another job in the next 60 days. You may decide to retire, or you may launch a consulting practice or other self-designed business that turns out to be better than anything you've ever done before. I don't know which path is right for you, but I know you're equipped to figure it out. If you need help making this decision, really thinking through whether you should retire now or relaunch your career, that's exactly what I do in my retirement design consultations. We'll look at your specific numbers, your actual options, and what you genuinely want. And we'll create a customized plan that works for your life, not some generic formula. The link for that is in the description. But whether you work with me or not, you have everything you need to navigate this. You proved that over the last 30 days. So keep going.